Transport provides access to many opportunities in everyday life. This includes work, leisure and recreation. Disabled people want to have full and independent access to these opportunities, and to achieve this, our transport system must fully support the needs of everyone who wishes to use it. The government's vision supports this aim. The vision is that by 2025, disabled people in Britain should have the same opportunities and choices as non-disabled people to improve their quality of life and be respected and included as equal members of society. Travelling to this conference today for many will have been a relatively straightforward journey. Others will have faced and had to overcome barriers to be here. If we are to be successful in achieving the government's vision, we must ensure that we all work together to remove these barriers and make our transport network truly accessible to all. The following video illustrates the experiences, both positive and negative, of disabled people making the same journey that you have made today.
My name is Maggie Killin and I live in Edinburgh and travel regularly both for business and pleasure around the country. I do use public transport, but today I have chosen to make my journey by car. The area around an accessible bay is important. As I enter and leave the vehicle from the driver's side, I need an area to transfer to. The end space should be pavement free and clear of street furniture. This is not the case here, so I'm going to use the neighbouring space. In my case, headroom is also a consideration, which is why I have parked in an outside bay rather than one in a multi-storey or underground car park. Critical also to the transfer is the level surface. If the parking bay is on a slope or camber, this can make transferring to my wheelchair and moving away from the vehicle particularly difficult. Everything's uphill. Of course, the topography of Scotland will always place some limitations on the gradients that can be realistically achieved. However, even when streets are relatively flat, I can face barriers at a local level. Crossing the road here means that I have to deal with the camber by crossing diagonally. As you can see, I changed direction in the middle of the crossing. At this next crossing, crossfall is extremely severe and I have to ask for assistance. Excuse me, do you think you could just give me a hand up here, please?
Yes, of course.
If you just hold on the back,
sure.
And then if you could just push me up to the level bit. A bit more. That's great. Thank you very much. In temporary situations such as roadworks, wheelchair users can be poorly catered for. Fortunately, the distance between the scaffolding poles is sufficient to pass other pedestrians, although this is not always the case. In this situation, a contractor has provided facilities to allow me to pass, which is positive, but temporary ramps are often poorly designed. The placing of street furniture can be problematic. Fortunately, I can pass here at a squeeze. Once again, the crossfall is proving problematic in what might appear to be a relatively flat area. And although drop curves have been promoted for several decades, they are not always there when you need them. This can be a real barrier if they are on the route you wish to take. The maintenance of the road surface is just as important as the footway. There are numerous examples of pedestrian crossings across the country with drop curbs, which are simply too high for a wheelchair to negotiate. Thank you. Upstands such as this make it very difficult to access the footway. As I end my journey and I enter the hotel, it is clear to me that although we have done much to improve facilities for wheelchair users over the years, there is still some work to be done.
My name is Gordon Mungo. I live in Livingston. My journey to the conference in Glasgow today is by train. Many stations on the rail network have good facilities for disabled people, but unfortunately not all stations are of the same standard. As an ambivalent disabled person, I find slippy surfaces such as these in the station difficult, particularly when wet. The choice of good materials in this area really can make a difference. This is also the case in the street where features can also be slippy sometimes. Step lamps are very difficult for me to navigate. The combination of the steps and lamps means it is very easy for me to lose my balance. A handrail on both sides is also helpful. This area is very good as it appears to be well maintained. The music is quite good too. Good maintenance is important to me. Unfortunately, this is not the case at this crossing. As I can take a little longer to crossroads, the amount of time provided can make it difficult. New technology which extends the time makes it much easier to cross. At construction sites, temporary pathways and lamps can become a challenge. Roots from trees can cause a problem in paths as it becomes uneven and can become difficult for me. Pedestrians also cross roads, so road surface quality is as important as the pathway. As I approach the conference venue, I hope that organisations responsible can see the importance of good maintenance for disabled people.